Hello, this is Dragon Tank 1400, and this is All Grown Up Season 3, Episode 7 review. The name of the episode is Rat's Race. So the main plot in this episode is Tommy, Chucky, Phil, and Dill are basically building a car for a race, a derby race, I guess. Now, Angelica gets wind of it, and she thinks that the winning person goes to Paris, France. It's actually Paris, Texas. So Tommy and his friends have a really hard time building the car, and then when Tommy finds out that Angelica wants to compete in the race to win, he basically gets all crazy and just bent on beating Angelica because of all the past things she's done to him. It kind of really shows that Angelica and Tommy having, cousin problems, I guess. Just Angelica picking on Tommy just because he's her cousin, and that's it. So they show that Angelica and Tommy's crew trying to raise capital. Angelica does amazing at it, and it's from the help of her mom, and that she just has that kind of personality. She doesn't take no for an answer, basically. And that's just kind of her personality. And of course she has her mom help out as well, which is huge since her mom's a CEO. So in the mix of all this, we actually get to see Harold kind of playing both sides, really, and kind of getting stuff he wants from both sides. It's kind of funny. Angelica gets information from Harold, but also Tommy and his crew gets information from Harold. And at first Harold's like, no, I can't be bought. And then you just give him something crappy, and he's like, here's the information. So after Tommy gets kind of crazy with Angelica, he kind of disses Chucky, Dill, and Phil. They kind of just leave and walk out on him. At the race, though, Dill of course shows up. He's his brother, and then Tommy goes back to the neighborhood and apologizes to Chucky and Phil, and they help him out. So it ends up turning good, and it ends up at the end a surprise but Harold actually wins the race because his mom's a mechanical engineer. So I thought it was a good touch on there. I had a feeling neither of them would win. At least the first time I watched the episode, I was like, I don't think Tommy or Angelica are really going to win this. I think it's going to be someone else. I didn't know who. Harold was a surprise when I saw this episode. It's very rare that an all-grown-up episode will actually surprise me with an ending or something like that. However, this time they did surprise me. Of course, I already seen all the episodes, so I already knew. But I'm saying the first time I watched this, I was actually surprised that Harold was the one who won. I thought it was just going to be some faceless person, but it ends up being Harold, which I thought was a great touch. So the secondary plot revolves around Susie, and she gets nominated for the pageant of the Derby that Tommy and Angelica are competing in. She's completely against it. She thinks they're very, womanizing, I guess is a decent word. She thinks it's wrong for them to parade women on display like that. Anyway, so she ends up winning, which we kind of all knew that was going to happen. Even though she was dressed in basically in her street clothes, just jeans and stuff, where the other girls were wearing dresses, but she still won. And she was going to do the speech against the pageant. However, the guy announces all the prizes and stuff, and one of the prizes is singing. And of course Susie, being she wants to be a singer, just gets all hyped about it, and she's just thanks everyone. It aligns with Susie's character a lot. Now Lil was there with Susie, and we kind of get to see two kind of sides of Lil. One, that she's really good in sports, and other that she kind of wanted to be in the pageant, but she also supported Susie for it being womanizing and stuff. And kind of the reason she wanted to be in the pageant, because ever since the last episode where she started playing soccer, she stated that once you're good at sports, no one ever thinks of you as a girl. So she kind of wanted to be thought of as a girl, which is understandable. Now, Tommy and Angelica had some pretty good character development. Well, particularly Tommy, as we get to see him really angry. We don't get to see him angry a whole lot. Can't remember what episode. I think there's some episodes in the past where he was angry at Dill in particular, I don't know if he was really angry with anyone else in the series. I just can't remember. However, it's sometimes good to really see that side of Tommy, like that character fault of his. He was so focused on beating Angelica that he completely forgot the whole reason for them being in the race, and that was to have fun with their friends. So he ends up realizing this, and of course like I said, he apologizes to them, and Chucky and Phil end up helping him again. And of course Dill does, because he's his brother, so he's gonna stick by him no matter what. One relationship that gets developed is the cousin relationship between Angelica and Tommy, and we got to see this a little bit in the previous season, Fools Rush In, and in the first season, Lucky 13, and a few other episodes here and there. Fear of Falling a little bit, I guess. We kind of get to see that cousin rivalry, I guess you could say. I mean, not much gets developed on Angelica's side, as she does apologize, which is a plus, but then she turns around and does it again. And that's just Angelica's character. She one step forward, 2 steps back, or 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or whatever. However, we get to see a little bit of development from her and a lot of development from Tommy in this episode, which is good. We haven't got to see a whole lot of them this season. Anyway, so the moral of it is obviously, basically, don't be a jerk to your friends, particularly. No matter how much you're determined, don't be like mean to your friends. I mean, have fun with them. And from a Christian point of view, that's good. And of course, obviously, think of others and not yourself. Be selfless, not selfish. That moral has come up a few times during this whole series, and it's always good. And from a Christian point of view, of course, Christians should follow it. Anyway, so this episode, not the greatest. I mean, there's definitely some faults here and there. The pacing, it was good to see the montage and everything. However, I just the first few times I've seen this episode, I did not like it. It was just kind of blah. But I'm gonna give it like a 9 out of 10, just because it was kind of better than I remember it to be, which is always good. But it's still not my favorite episode. So 9 out of 10. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. See you guys in the next one. Bye.